guilty of doing in my days, of hibernating away from it, of thinking if I just pretend it's not there, it's not there.
I think we're all guilty of that.
Of course we are. But you cannot get away from the stress of starting something, but that's not to say it isn't worth starting.
No. And like we just said right at the beginning, you know, stress isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's how you perceive it. You know, use that as motivation. You know, you think, okay, well, I'm stressed now. But if I'm stressed, I care. And if I care, I'm doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, and you're doing the right thing. You're not going to feel stressed as to whether it's going to work when you're sat in your bed.
Yeah.
Because you can't. You're not doing the right thing. If you are making sure that everything is going the way it is, and you think, oh my God, I hope everything's going the way it is, well, that's because you're trying to do it. It's something that whilst I was setting up the screens, I thought, I spent about 3 hours a few days ago trying to get all of this to work. And by the end of the 3 hours, it wasn't all working.
Yeah.
And I came away from it, and initially I thought, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I've just wasted 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I came away from it and I thought, no, as we've touched on there, I now know that at least I tried. And I faced something. It wasn't me sitting 3 hours somewhere else waiting for it, needing it to be done.
Yeah.
You tried.
Yeah, you put yourself out there. And I'm sure you learn what does and doesn't work. And
I learned that
what
computers
not to do.
don't work if you want them to. that was what
Did you turn it off and on again?
Probably about 5,000 times, yeah. But no, it is important for... I think if you are to lean into pain and to discomfort when it comes to progress, that is where you find progress.
Yeah.
I think the more you try to avoid it, the further you get away from what it is you want to do. It was something I experienced every day when it came to music. Was I was terrified to perform in front of people. And of course, as someone who's doing music, you need to perform in front of people. You can't not. But as a result of me choosing to shy away from that, I felt comfortable because I wasn't doing what I knew would scare me. But am I doing music anymore? No, I'm not, because I didn't want to do it anymore. I lost the love for it. It's important to take fear and discomfort and reconceptualize that. When you're starting a business and you feel that discomfort, good. You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
There's a Buddhist phrase that I quote incessantly, and for good reason, of life is suffering. Life is about moving into what is difficult, because in the process of moving towards what is hard, you learn how to deal with that. You're not going to get better in your business without experiencing those days of torrential downpour. And now, as you say, you know what to do. You've tested yourself. It's proving yourself.
Yeah, and I've taught myself, you know, and that's... I've got no one to thank but me. Yeah. You know, and which is... It's almost... It's where you want to be, you know. I know that I am where I am because I've worked to be where I am, you know. And that's not to say, you know, some people don't get lucky, you know, and that they're undeserving of that. You know, everyone has their own path, but I know that everything that I have, you know, my house, my car, you know, when me and Dan finally do go on holiday, you know, I'll appreciate it so much more because I did that.
Yes, it is the life's yin and yang of that difficulty that you have to endure in order to get what you want makes the thing that you want that much better. Yeah. If you're sitting on a sunny beach at some point in the near future and you haven't done the work, you're not going to relax on that beach. No. You're going to feel uncomfortable because you don't feel relaxed. Relaxation... If you sit in your bed when you've done nothing, you don't feel good. You think, oh fuck, so I've got to go and do something. If you sit in your bed after a long day of doing something, you want to be there. It feels right being there. And that's something you've touched on that's brilliant there. There's a real joy to be derived in that difficulty. I think people assume that fear that comes with starting stays as fear. No. It's only bad. No, it's not. You're going to experience a feeling of competency within yourself because you think, do you know what? I was scared and I did that anyway. Or I had no idea how to do this and look what I'm doing now. There's something on the other side of this discomfort that is touched on, but people don't get the concept of, if you put yourself in conditions where your business is tested or your mind is tested or your body is tested, it's only a matter of time before you get to a place where you look around and you go, you know what, I've done well and I feel good within myself.
Yeah, and you have to take, as touching on, you know, feeling good about yourself, you have to take the small wins.
Yes, you do.
You
That's
know,
right.
Things will fall into place. If you spend hours and hours and hours on something, you will eventually break through. And when you do, my God, it will feel good.
And it feels amazing. Yeah, that's right. It feels amazing. And as you said there about people getting lucky, you can't get lucky you can't accidentally do 5 years of work on something every day toward your thing. If you put the work in, I am a firm advocate of the fact that if you work at something and you really put your effort towards something, you might not get exactly what it is you were thinking you would get, but you're going to get something of value. Yeah. If you work at something, even if you work at something that is totally different to what it is that you end up doing, you understand the value of delayed gratification. You understand that you are someone who is competent enough to go out and brand themselves, advertise themselves. You take yourself seriously enough as a businesswoman to go and look and go, this is what I'm offering. What do you think? There's a confidence in doing that. It gives you so many skills just by trying something. Yeah. And I think that's a really important lesson, that in trying anything that is outside of your comfort zone, you will grow. And at that, there's nothing more to be said. It might not end up being the way you think, but it will end up being of value. I cannot stress enough for people that if you try something and it's something you're scared to do, that if you, as you say, if you try it for long enough and you put those hours in, there is value to be gained, and that's undisputed.